Hello and welcome to RevModes Plays Elite Dangerous. Here we are at the Shatalov Prospect in the LHS 1933 system where we left off. So as usual, go into the Starport services, have a look on the bulletin board, see if there's any missions worth taking. Nope, nothing really worth my while there. I think, yeah, a lot of unexplored in this system, so we may as well go and map out this system while we're here. So let's get on our way.
Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
So getting out of the way of any superstructure before we start trying to manoeuvre. Just have a quick scan just to make sure we didn't miss anything when we came into the system. Nice deserty looking planet there. Has a very Tatooine vibe about it. High metal content world. Hopefully there'll be some good mining and stuff to be done on worlds like that once Horizons hits. Let's get out from being mass locked and we can get into frame shift drive. Here we go.
Cannot
Oh.
comply. Frame shift
There we
drive
go.
charging.
Forgot to bring the scanner in before we tried to go in.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I noticed on the forums when I was going through it today, again there's a thread there about a lack of anything coming for explorers, or a lack of any fleshing out of the exploration in this game, and I feel that comes back to something I was prattling on about a couple of videos back, and that is that they're trying to market this game to two completely opposed people. I know that obviously they want to sell the game to as many people as they can because they want to make as much money out of it as they can, but unfortunately they seem to be they're trying to please people that want a long, nice, steady exploration, make your own adventure really sort of game, but at the same time they're also trying to please people that just want to jump in and have instant action and have a combat game. And like I said before, unfortunately those two things are pretty much mutually exclusive. So all that happens is when you try to do both those things is you don't do either of them
Fuel scooping complete.
how people want them done, and you just end up disappointing everybody. For me personally, having grown up with the Elite games and whatnot, it's all, you know, I fall into the first category. I like the exploration side of things, as you'll see from these videos. I'm out here exploring, taking the occasional mission, and generally getting destroyed when I get into combat, but and making my own, you know, making my own story up for my little commander that's out here exploring the universe. But that's my style of gameplay, and I have nothing against people that want to play a combat sim, but unfortunately I don't think that's what Elite Dangerous is. And like I say, love them or hate them, it's groups like Code that we need in the game that are actually making their own history and their own storylines up within the framework of the larger game, without having to be led there by the developers. But unfortunately it's the way of the world now that
Warning, temperature critical. Warning, temperature critical. Warning,
okay, that's
temperature critical.
my own fault for not concentrating and gabbing away. Got far too close to the star there. And got pulled out of frameshift drive. But yeah, but hopefully there will be, like I say, hopefully a happy compromise will be found. Like I say, I believe that if you can introduce some sort of player-driven crafting system that's not too overpowered, that doesn't ridiculously unbalance everything, is your best bet, because then you've got your crafters that are setting up bases either in space or on planets,
Frameshift drive charging.
who would need miners to go out and find resources for them,
To engage.
and the miners would need explorers to go out and find the mining sites for them,
3, 2,
and the miners and the explorers would need combat people to go out and protect them, or alternatively be on the other side and be out trying to pirate off them. And I think that's how you end up with a good, well-rounded game. But if that's whether that'll be the route they go down, only Frontier know. Hopefully, like I say, I'd be quite happy if that's the route they go down. The only problem with that approach is if you let like crafter players build bases and stuff, you can end up with a very busy space. You know, space is supposed to be really empty. But if you let people start building bases, then people, obviously, if you give people a chance to build bases, they will build bases, and therefore space tends to start filling up quite quickly. But like I say, it's all a game still in development. We're still just waiting for the planetary landings and settlements update to drop with Horizons, and then whatever else is going to come after that. Whatever happens, I'm still out here exploring. I'm still enjoying myself at the minute, so I'm quite happy to keep on exploring out here. And I haven't even got out into the darkest depths of space yet. I'm still in pretty close to the core. Hopefully at some point I'll actually get out into deep space and might even discover something new for myself. we go. Keep an eye out for all these contacts that are dropping in and out. Of course, we're being stalked by the wedding barge again. I'm wobbling all over the place. It might not be doing much more than scanning this system this time, I think. There's an awful lot of unexplored in this system. Depending on whether anybody takes an interest in us and starts shooting at us. If we do get interdicted, hopefully I'll make a better showing of it this time than I did last time. But for me personally, the way I'd like this game to go is them to really beef up the background information. You know, the what's happening in power play, what's happening in the power play. Alright, yes, you as an individual might not be able to make a huge difference to what's going on, but if you group together with organisations and things, you should be able to make a difference of what's going on. And also the community goals, I think they're a really good idea, bringing the community together to achieve things and giving them various options to do, whether it's bringing goods to a station, because again it opens up various aspects of play for people. Like I say, people can either go out and, especially when it's metals, if they can either go out and mine the metals or buy the metals and bring them in, and then it gives people a chance to either fly escort to the traders that are coming in and out of the system on the community goals, or pirate. So that's the way I'd personally like them to go, is, like I say, to keep on with these community goals and to beef up what's going on, you know, what's going on in the political, in the real, well, I was going to say in the real world at the back of the game, but I suppose in the game world behind it, you know, the different political machinations of the organisations and everything out there. Just so it does feel like you are a bit more involved in a, you know, a living, breathing universe. Alright, you might just be reading about these things on the Galnet News when you dock into a station, but at least makes you think that there is other things happening out there around you. when it comes down to it, like all other Elite games, the enemy's going to be out there somewhere. Somebody's going to run into them eventually, in whatever form they're going to take in this game, but there's going to be some sort of bad guy that's not going to be happy with the human race flying around, and then there'll be more than enough combat for everybody in this game, I think. You say whether they're already in the game and nobody's just found them, hasn't travelled out far enough to find them yet, or whether they've not bothered implementing them into the game, I couldn't say. But I'd be very surprised if there isn't an alien menace in this game at some point. Just know that one of these contacts floating around on the scanner there is going to interdict me eventually. Lots of planetary bodies out in this little bit here. go, you see. Told you people wouldn't be able to ignore me all this time.
Under attack.
There we go.
Target shields offline.
Not to be power into weapons. Got to shift stuff, my pips into my weapons there.
Target shields online. Target shields offline.
So shields down again. Got him.
Target destroyed.
This goes to show what the difference between deadly and novice is.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Oh well, at least we're going to make a bit of money out on this run. I think it was about just over 4,000 credits for the bounty on that fella. Getting awfully close to that planet. Go on, try not to fly into the planet. Can't be many more to scan in this system. Looks like this one's some sort of gas giant again. Going a bit fast there for some reason. Might have been a bit late on slowing down there. Oh no, speed's going down, yeah. Thought we'd nearly done this system, but looks like there's another five or so unexplored to scan. But hopefully they're all here in this little group, so should be able to get them done fairly quickly. Yeah, that's everything done here. Shall we go have a look at this salvageable wreck? See what's involved. Go on. Let's see what's actually involved with these salvageable wrecks. Admittedly, I'll have to find out how on earth to open up my cargo scoop, because I've no idea what button it's bound to. Because I think you have to pick up. I think that's what you do, is you pick up cargo that's floating around in space. I don't know whether this is going to lead me into combat or what's going to happen here, so on a bit of a voyage of adventure. But if I can pick up a bit of free cargo, let's just have a look here. Functions. Okay, so I know I can open it and close it there, but it must be bound to a button. Come out there before I go flying, hurtling past this thing. Let's get here and then I can sort out what buttons I need to be pressing. Okay, so it's safe to drop out a frameshift drive. Right, so what we've got in contacts? An occupied escape pod. So look that up then. Slows down a bit. Slows down a lot. Right, let's go into there.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Load that down then. Ooh. Ah. Haha, right. So I'm assuming I need to keep those crosshairs. Ooh, no. Take it as soon as that's there you go. Take it as soon as that went red around it, I was going too fast. So that's about as fast as I can go. So I'm assuming I need to keep that in the centre of my crosshairs. And that's going to get it into the cargo scoop, and hopefully I'm not just going to fly straight into it and destroy it and damage myself. Hold on. Oh, slow down a bit. Nice and steady now. Hey! Happy with that. Let's retract that.
Cargo scoop retracted.
So we've got one occupied escape pod. Don't know whether that'll be worth anything when I so let's get to the closest dock, which is the Shatterlove Prospect again.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I do have an illicit cargo, so I take it that picking up that. So who's inside that pod then? If it's now becoming, if that's an illicit cargo, you would have thought picking up an occupied escape pod would be doing a good deed, but apparently it's an illicit cargo. Oh well, I know it to be, if I see a salvageable wreck in a system again now, I know that I need to go have a look at it. Right, we seem to be flying directly towards the star here, which is probably not a good idea. So let's drop down a bit and pass underneath it. I thought the speed wasn't going to start coming down there, but it's started to come down now. So being able to pick up that sort of stuff, that's another good reason to have a some sort of cargo rack on board, even if you are out exploring.
Docking request granted.
Let the computer take us in.
Landing gear deployed. Docking successful.
There we go.
Engines disengaged.
Down safe, into the hangar. Right, let's go to the bulletin board, see if we can offload this that I've picked up. No, so I don't. Contacts. That's for the bounties for that. So come out of there. So what on earth do I do with that then? Is it not worth anything to anybody? No, well, just discard that then. Alright, so refuel. Repair everything. Just check to make sure the repairs are all done. Yeah, just check integrity, get that over 100%. Obviously no map data to sell because we didn't go anywhere. So I think we'll call it a day for this video there. So again, thank you for joining me on my exploration of the Elite Dangerous universe, and hopefully you'll join me again next time RevMods plays Elite Dangerous.